All right, welcome back once again. This is G-Man here. We're going to go over the Week 1 matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars for starts and sits. And let's go right into it. Let's start with the Kansas City Chiefs. The starts, is it really a surprise that I'm telling you you're going to start Patrick Mahomes in your quarterback 1 slot? He could arguably finish as he did last year as the quarterback 1. He looks great. Offense looks great. So, yeah, start him. Another player you're going to probably want to start, Damian Williams. And while here at Pigskin Paisanos, we're not as high as a lot of people are on Damian Williams, and there could be a chance that once LaShawn McCoy gets more acclimated with the offense, with him reunited with Andy Reid and the rookie that they drafted, Darwin Thompson, that Damian Williams might not be such a high pick that he was worth taking. But for now, I'm going to say you put him in as your running back too. Tyreek Hill, of course, you're going to put him in as wide receiver 1. In my humble opinion, I think the NFL should have suspended this dude, but that's not up for me to say. That's up for Roger Goodell. But while he's playing football, yeah, he's a freak. This could be a game where Jacksonville has a very good defense, but they're going to obviously feed Tyreek Hill with a lot of targets, and it's just a matchup that might be difficult because of the defense. But either way, you're going to start Tyreek Hill as your wide receiver 1. Another play I'm going to recommend is Sammy Watkins, wide receiver 3 or flex. Again, this just goes back into the belief that the offense is probably going to do well, even though, again, the defensive matchup isn't that great. But I just think that a lot of these players are going to probably see the targets and see the opportunities. So if you have Sammy Watkins, some people I know aren't as high as him as they used to be in years prior, and he deals with injuries here and there, but I still think he's worthy of flexing or wide receiver 3, depending. And lastly, for the starts, I'm going to go with, obviously, again, Travis Kelce. The guy is a monster. Wouldn't have been surprising if you saw some people draft him, depending if it's a 10-team or a 12-team or even 14-team league, that he could have ended up being in the first round. He's just a great player and has arguably stats that would rival some of the top wide receivers. So for sits, going into some of the guys I touched upon, is going to be LaShawn McCoy. Look, LaShawn McCoy, for all we know, could have a bounce-back year to some effect. I know last year he looked like he fell off a cliff, but gets to reunite with Andy Reid. There could be one last little, mile in the gas tank for LaShawn McCoy, but he's only been there for less than a week, I would say. So you're going to sit him. You're going to sit Darwin Thompson. I know a lot of people were high on the potential of taking Darwin Thompson late in drafts, but I think for now, you're just the only running back you're really going to start with confidence is going to be Damian Williams. And then lastly, I'm going to say rookie Mecole Hardman. And this is one where you saw that they drafted him because they assumed, like I did, that Tyreek Hill is going to get suspended or maybe has to leave the league because of that controversial recording that was available for all the world to hear with Tyreek Hill and parts of his family members. I'm not really high on him at all. Honestly, watch his tape. I know some people are high on him. He definitely has some explosive and athleticism, but I'm personally not high on him. And I think especially since Tyreek Hill isn't going to be suspended anytime we know that, I'm just going to go with Hill and Watkins. Played safe on this one. Okay, moving into the Jacksonville Jaguars. My team, by the way, sadly. Their starters that I'm going to recommend, Leonard Fournette. Listen, honestly, it's been really difficult. I remember off-season thinking, like, you know what, if the Jaguars want to trade away Leonard Fournette, I wouldn't be mad at them, and I would totally understand because, honestly, if you look at his game logs, whether it's yards per carry or if you just watch the games or his efficiency, I think it's been since 2017, Week 8. Honestly, I think it was Week 8 when they were playing the Rams where he re-aggravated the injury that he was dealing with when he left LSU in college with a high ankle sprain. He has not looked the same since that game. Yeah, he gets all the volume. Yeah, he gets all the workload. Yeah, he's a beast. He's athletic. He's big. Yeah, he actually has some pretty good pass-catching ability too, but still, I'm just not really high on him like a lot of people are, and I know some people are starting to fade him because they just feel like they're getting burned by him already. It's year 3, but you're going to hopefully where you drafted him is probably rounds 3 to 5. You're going to plug him in, put him as your running back 2, hope and pray that he just stays healthy. And then the other couple starts I'm going to go with D.D. Westbrook. D.D. Westbrook's just awesome. I remember before he got drafted, I was so happy that or I don't know why I said we. I have no stake of the ownership in the Jacksonville Jaguars. I was so happy that the Jacksonville Jaguars were able to draft this kid. He was a former Fred Biletnikoff Award winner, which is the award handed out to the best wide receiver in the nation for college football. The kid's talent's always been there. He each year keeps getting an increase in targets and receptions, and it seems like based on circumstances and based on all the hype you hear from John DeFilippo about how D.D. Westbrook's the best route runner I've ever had. And keep in mind, this is a guy who's been around like the Eagles and been around Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen. So I don't know if I would go to that extent, but he obviously is extremely talented. I think the opportunities are going to be there. There's Marquise Lee, that's still there, and he's always been okay, but he's always been dealing with injuries, and not someone I think who's going to really threaten it. There's still Keelan Cole. Could he bounce back? Not really sure. There's Chris Conley that they brought over. Him and Nick Foles have had a connection in the past. But again, I think D.D. Westbrook's probably going to be the only wide receiver start here. And then I'm going to say their defense and special teams as well for Jacksonville. They have one of the best defenses, special teams in the league. Josh Allen in preseason looked amazing. Paul, being a Giants fan, although he's been pleasantly surprised with how well Daniel Jones has looked in preseason, it's just preseason, and they probably could have got Daniel Jones at pick 17 overall. They did not need to get him at pick 6. Dave Gettleman, we needed to take him because, the Redskins. No, bull crap, dude. You didn't need to take him at pick 6. You just wanted to do that because you had your own strange, but whatever. Not going to get into that. Defensive special teams, I'm sure people who listen to enough fantasy football know the stat that's been thrown around over and over again. The only time Patrick Mahomes last year threw 0 touchdowns in a game was against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Am I saying that's going to happen again? No, but I am saying it's a tough matchup. Jacksonville's at home. They have a very good defense. They have Yannick Ngakoue, Calais Campbell. They drafted Quinnen Williams' brother, Quincy Williams, who people were like, what? Who is this? He looks great. Look at his tape. He's just go after the ball type of guy. As I mentioned, Josh Allen. They still have Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye. It's just a great defense. So, yeah, if you have them, go ahead and start them. And, all right, that's going to wrap up today for the video between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Have a good one.